We're track 1, right?
We are track 3.
Track 3. Okay, everybody over here at track 3, we are about 2 minutes and 25 seconds from our first MRDA game of the Big O. I'm pretty excited, Julia Childless.
Good day. My name is Julia Childless alongside Dr. Jenny Fever. We are on track 3. This is your first official sanctioned MRDA. I'm really excited about this. This is
I
great.
am crazy excited about this.
And have you announced MRDA before?
I have, actually. I'm the announcer for the Vancouver Murder up in
yes,
Canada.
indeed.
So there we do have 5 members of Team Canada, Men's Team Canada on my league. So
Flat Track Derby Fever happening in a couple of weeks there, right?
yeah, yeah.
Very exciting. So we did see Deep Valley appeared this past year at the championships in Sioux City. Did a great job. So this should be a pretty exciting. And you said that these two teams played each other just recently, didn't you?
Yeah, it looks like April 5th they played a game, and Deep Valley came out ahead 150 versus 129 for drive-by. So very close game, which I'm pretty sure we're going to be expecting here today as well.
Okay, well, we'll see if drive-by can turn that around today.
And to everybody sitting in the audience, don't forget that we do have the Big O raffle going on. So
Ooh, I love raffles.
1 ticket, $1, 6 tickets, $5, $10 for a length of nose to finger. I wonder whose nose to finger you can choose, because I would choose someone really tall for that one.
I was going to say, can I go find the tallest guy that I know?
Oh, it does say you can do that. $20 for the height of the person. Find the tallest person.
Nice.
Right, lots of skate goodness in each skater basket, plus 1 RollerCon MVP ticket.
You know what you want to do is find the tallest person you know while they're on roller skates.
Yes, exactly.
Then you get at least a couple more inches out of it.
That's a good, 5 more tickets on that skate size.
Exactly. I actually, if you know me well, you know I'm a big fan of raffles. So get your raffle ticket. I know there are some really cool prizes.
Yeah, grand prize is 2 RollerCon MVP passes.
Ooh, yes, please. For those of you headed to RollerCon, there are several MRDA sanctioned bouts. I know St. Louis, New York, and your very local Bridgetown Menace will be in Las Vegas this year for RollerCon. Those will be pretty high-level, possibly ranking-changing bouts. So if you are in the area and want to check that out, those will be during the last 2 days of RollerCon.
Should we do some quick introductions while they're standing?
Indeed. Why don't you introduce a team?
Fantastic. So playing to date for the Deep Valley Belligerents, we're going to have number 13, Graves, number 16, Dr. Rotten, number 24, Alec Brawlwin, number 28, Downer, number 3, Culture Shock, number 33, Sloppy Joe, number 35, Paparazzi, number 40, Is He Serious? Number 415, Bad Billy. Number 707, JB the Rockstar. Number 720, Disastrix. I'll get it. Number 76, Chemtrail. Number 98, Boy Band. And 747, Billy Motion.
All right, coming up for your drive-by city rollers, we have number 11, Override, the captain. Number 12, Volt Ron. Number 1776, Thomas Refferson. 24K, Nugget. 4A, Tricky Ricardo. Number 6, Coffin Nailer. Number 714, Tease. Number 804, Nick Fury. 812, Meat. 85, Windbreaker. Number 904, Raven Buster. 929, Chachi. Number 99, Defensive Destroyer. K0, Avenger Holyfield. Your bench coaches for the drive-by rollers today, Black Star Heroine and Filthy One.
Oh, I forgot to mention our bench coaches over there for the Deep Valley Belligerents. We've got Narnar Jinx on the bench along with She's a Badass. Shira Badass, sorry.
She probably is a badass, though.
Yes, probably.
Makes complete sense to me.
Sorry, Deep Valley's in the white?
Drive-by's on the right. Drive-by. Yep, Deep Valley's in the white. Culture Shock on the line alongside Override for the drive-by city rollers. Feel free to just announce however you announce and punch me if you don't like what I'm saying.
Nice, I like it.
Do my thing.
Okay, there goes our first whistle here for, again, our first MRDA game. Nice shoot on the outside. Took a bit of a hit there, but that is drive-by city rollers as your lead. Jammer, that's number 3 on the track.
Override breaking free finally and coming around for his pass. Seeing why Deep Valley does so well. Their jammers are so agile, and Drive By City not picking up any points on that pass. Drive By, though, putting up a great wall there, only allowing Deep Valley those 2 points.
Nice quick start to this game. So it looks like that's Downer on the track there for our Deep Valley Belligerents. And he's jamming up against Tees.
Tees coming around the outside looking for a hole, running into a huge wall of Deep Valley. Jonas Downer sneaking past number 44 for the drive by, or excuse me, 4A, Tricky Ricardo, and picking up lead Jammer.
Looks like Tees still in trying to get out of his first pack there. He got pulled way, way back by Sloppy Joe, and now he's going to have to try and do that whole pass again, but he is going to keep on fighting. Almost made it through for his initial pass while that was called off.
Downer, of course, calling off that jam, but not before he picks up 3 big points. So Deep Valley starting out slowly chipping away a few points at a time, but that's really the best way to do it. You know, I mean, big jams are really great to see, and it's a lot of fun, but the best way to win one of these bouts is to chip away slowly, a couple of points at a time, you know?
It's a good tournament strategy as well, too, because you have at least 3 games to play. You don't want to throw everything you have at the very first. Not that you don't want to play badly, but you don't want to kill yourself on the first game.
Graves and Avenger Holyfield up to the line. Graves breaking through without any trouble at all. Drive By City, your lead jammer.
That is our first lead jam for Drive By so far in this game, and it looks like we did have ourselves a star pass. Oh, nope, still the same jammer.
Graves getting a big help around from the Destroyer, and he is going to pick up a couple of points there, it looks like. Am I wrong?
Deep Valley still on the board with 5 points. Drive By still at 0 here.
That looks like,
no, there we go,
yeah,
3
looks
points.
like 3 points.
Did we get a jammer penalty? Okay, it looks like our jammer is sitting in the box there.
So this jam starts out on a power jam situation for Deep Valley. Looks like we once again have number 3, Culture Shock, up to the line, and he's going to make short work of the track as he comes around. Basically just plows his way through the drive-by pack, and he's just going to start pushing until they let him through. Looks like we do have a penalty call on that, and so drive-by picking up the pack penalty and having to leave the track.
Some nice strong work in the front of our pack there by our Drive By City blockers. They held him down for quite a bit of time. Nice little penalty kill, but both jammers are now on the track. Culture Shock did get himself a big grand slam there with another 5 points. Culture Shock coming up to the back of the pack. Nice inside line there, helped out by his teammate.
Very nice job there, assisted by number 707 from his team, JB the Rockstar. And he is going to pick up a few extra points there as well.
Yeah, we're at 19 now for Deep Valley, 4 on the board still for Drive By.
Downer once again up to the line alongside number 11, Override.
We still have 1 drive-by player sitting in the box, so we do have a 4-on-3 in the pack here early in the game. Just a couple penalties so far, nothing really crazy yet. Oh, nice work on the outside line there for our drive-by blocker. Pulled Downer way, way back. Tried to pull in a little bit of a penalty there, not quite able to do it. That was some blocking by defensive Destroyer. And again,
Jonas Downer waiting for Graves to come back around for a pass to try and put himself back into the pack, but he is running into some huge trouble from number 812, Meat, on the inside. Graves managing to squeeze through and pick up 5 more points. Or excuse me, Override.
Nice jam there for Override, getting 5 full points, and that's definitely going to help Drive By chip away at that lead there. Nice push in the end for Downer, but I don't think he was able to. Nope, no points there. Not quite able to pull in any points at the last whistle.
Override able to pick up 2 extra squeezed in points there right at the end. So nice job there. Graves and Tees up to the line. Everybody doing a little bit of shuffling there before they get started.
I like saying that together, Graves Tees. I think that's going to be good. Nice, both of our jammers pushing their way up to the front. We do have all of our players on the track right now. Graves does get hit to the inside, going to have to do that pack, and that did allow Tees to come out as your lead jammer.
So drive-by turning this around a little bit and picking up a lot of lead jams here.
Yeah, it's true. Drive-by putting in a nice push here for these last couple of jams. Nice blocking going on here by our drive-by team as well. Really recycling back those players to keep them out of the front of the pack and away from their jammer.
Yeah.
Another big grand slam. 5 more points on the board for Tees. Tees up into the pack. One last push there.
So
Nice
3
work.
more points for Tees as he comes around.
Oh, great. That puts us into a tie game here. Nice work. 7 minutes played, and we've already got a tie game.
Culture Shock and Avenger Holyfield up to the line.
Oh, there's a birthday?
Sloppy Joe re-released from the penalty box, and he will rejoin the pack. Culture Shock having no trouble picking up lead jammer for Deep Valley Belligerents. He is going to make his way to the back of the pack. Drive-by trying to speed it up, but Deep Valley managing to hold them back. Oh, Culture Shock just zipping around the inside with no problem at all there. Drive-by realizing that and spreading themselves back out, but he comes around the outside.
Yeah, there's a beautiful blocking going on in the front of the pack there by Sloppy Joe and Is He Serious?
Culture Shock is just so fast. It's really hard to stop him.
That puts Deep Valley Belligerents back up into the lead. We've got Thomas Refferson up on the line. I believe that is going to be jamming up against Downer. Downer been on our jam line before. Thomas Refferson, this is his first jam. Downer tries to make the move to the outside. Not able to do it. Takes a big couple of hits there. Thomas Refferson trying to get past his blockers in the back. He did get hit out, but it looks like that is going to be Deep Valley once again. Downer is your lead jammer. Oh, Thomas Refferson getting cutting penalty and being sent to the penalty box. Downer has an opportunity here to put some more points on the board, try and seal up that lead. Deep Valley's been playing. That is a big grand slam. Nice wall going on in the front here for drive-by. Downer does get out and get another 5 big points. Nice jam there for Downer. Put another 10 points on the board, 38-19. Give a big shout out to a couple of our vendors here. We'd like to thank Armored Rose and Bont for being vendors here. Don't forget to go visit them over in Track 1. Our Drive-By City Rollers jammer is still in the penalty box, so that does leave number 13, Graves, as your lone jammer, just for a few moments here. Drive-By pulling. Thomas Refferson now out of the penalty box, back into the pack. Graves, of course, on his scoring pass. Thomas Refferson out of the pack now. Ooh, nice little deke at the front of the pack there for Graves. Gets through with 3 points on that jam.
You know, it's so interesting when you watch these teams. You have Culture Shock, who is just really fast and zippy, and what makes Graves so dangerous is he's so patient. He just looks very casual as he skates. He watches for his space, and then he takes it, but it's really hard to guess where he's going to go.
He does have a really calm skating style.
Definitely.
So Drive-By is going to be playing Chachi for the first time. It's his first time on the jammer line, and he's going to be jamming up against Culture Shock. We've got one player for each team in our penalty box right now, so we've got 3-on-3 going on in our pack. Both jammers getting hit to the inside, being pulled way back.
Beautiful job there by Deep Valley, pushing him out. Number 16 from Deep Valley, Dr. Rotten, with a great push out. Unfortunately, he did take Culture Shock with him. So it looks like Deep Valley trying to slow everything way down, giving Culture Shock a chance to catch up, and he does.
Culture Shock here, Chachi here is our lead jammer. Culture Shock into the pack in his scoring run. He does take a hit to the inside. One of his teammates, JB the Rockstar, there to make sure that players don't get recycled back too far.
Looks like we have a penalty called on on Drive-By, so they are going to be short a player. Looks like they are trying to get their pack back in order.
Nice.
Meanwhile,
so the defensive destroyer doing some nice blocking here on the back for blocking out Culture Shock. And there we go. Chachi decides to call off that jam. I think there's points on the board for everybody in this jam. I want to say thanks to another couple of our vendors, Bruise Skate News, Fast Girl Skates, Fingers Duke, all vendors here today, so please make sure you give them a visit. Downer and Avenger Holyfield back up on the jam line once more together. Still have one drive-by in the penalty box, but we are clearing that box out, and we're going to put all of our players on the track. And it looks like that is going to be a jammer penalty. Oof. As we have Downer heading to the penalty box. So an excellent opportunity here. Avenger Holyfield put some points on the board for drive-by.
Yeah, with Deep Valley up as far as they are, that track cut penalty is really going to help Drive-By pick up those extra points, close up the point differential, like you were saying, make sure they can get back on top here. It's pretty unusual for Deep Valley to have jammer penalties, so this is a big opportunity for them.
Sloppy Joe able to pull Avenger Holyfield into the inside. That did recycle him back and slow him down just a little bit. Sloppy Joe again comes in for one last moment, but he was unsuccessful, and Avenger Holyfield scores 5 big points.
Looks like the drive-by rollers, jammers saw Downer heading out of the penalty box, motioning for his team to wall up, which they do, and they are doing a great job at keeping them back. Unfortunately, Papa comes in to try and break up that pack, and it does work for a moment. Now Downer is stuck in between the drive-by pack.
Avenger Holyfield, meanwhile, having a great jam here. That's another 5 points on the board. He's coming around for another.
I saw Billy Motion lay that big hit down on drive-by and look to the ref like he thought he might call the penalty, but
just checking.
It was a clean hit, so.
It's good to check these things.
Downer still caught in behind drive-by, battling it out, and he looks like he's just going to continue to try and do that.
Now that's Nugget at the front doing some excellent blocking there. Downer finally able to get out, and that jam is over. That was a drive-by city roller jam.
Yeah, great job there by Sloppy Joe, breaking up that last block for Downer and allowing him to pick up those extra points.
Avenger Holyfield able to put us into a 1-point game again. We just have 1 point between these two teams. Thomas Jefferson back up on the line. He's jamming up against Graves. All of our players on the track. Nice work on the inside line. Thomas Jefferson really saw that hole and gunned for it. He was able to make it through cleanly and become your lead jammer. Why does Graves keep taking off the helmet cover?
I don't know.
Thomas Jefferson takes a hit to the outside, calls off the jam just as Graves is coming up to the back. Not able to score any points there for Deep Valley. More points on the board for drive-by.
I don't know why he keeps doing that. No, it's really weird, isn't it?
I don't get it. I don't get what he's doing.
Don't star pass. Don't do it.
Culture Shock and Override are going to be our jammers. Drive-by's going to want to keep that momentum going. They are, again, we're at a tie game. That is our second tie-up in this game. Here in our first men's roller derby game of the Big O. Both of our jammers have all of their blockers on the track to help and to try and get through. So there's a lot of action going on in our packs right now. A nice break to the front of the pack by Culture Shock, and he is out. Deep Valley going to see if they can try and regain that lead they had on the board, but Override also out of the pack.
Override doing his best to try and catch up with Culture Shock. Culture Shock having to call off that jam, and he will not pick. Oh, he looks like he picked up 1 point before Override made it to the back of that pack.
Yeah, there was some excellent speed that Override put on there, forcing Culture Shock to call off that jam. He probably wanted to put a little bit more points on the board, but nice speed by Override, forcing that call off. We've got Tease back up on the line, and he's going to be jamming against Downer. Downer trying to take an inside line. Tease being caught in the back. Downer up at the front. One last hit. Oh, he just about saved that. That was so close. He did make it out as your lead jammer, though, and decides he's not going to try to do that one again, as Tease was also out of the pack. So we are going to start a new jam. Chachi coming back up onto the line for a drive-by in the white. He's going to be jamming up against Graves in black. All of our players again on the track. Oh, we're going into a timeout here. We've got an official timeout. I'm going to take this time to say thanks to a couple of our vendors over there. Please, if you haven't checked out any of the vendors, go over to the Track 1 area. You're going to find vendors such as Flat Track Revolution, Green Monster, Lily Gumdrops, Living Colored Duct Tape, all over there vending their wares here at the Big O. Give them some love for coming out and supporting us. They had to lug all that stuff out here. It's always nice for them to come by. I like seeing the vendors. So coming into the Big O, both of our teams ranked pretty highly today. Drive-by's coming in as our 4th seed. Deep Valley is our 3rd seed here in this game, in this tournament at the Big O. Is that Plenty official? I didn't even see her. Lined up and getting ready to play again. Again, that is Chachi jamming in whites. And that is Graves jamming in black. Graves up at the front of the pack. One last blocker to get by. Oh, he gets caught up again, gets hit out. It looks like that is going to put Chachi in as our lead jammer. Bunch of white players heading to our penalty box. Drive-by losing a lot of their blockers here. Oh, except we have a penalty call here. That's a low block, sending Chachi to our penalty box. So this is an opportunity here for Graves. Deep Valley up in the lead again. So Graves going to try and put some more points on the board. They only have one blocker up on the track right now there for drive-by. Nice job at the front of the pack, but that, of course, Graves able to make it past that, get 5 full points. Graves coming back down again. We do have some more blockers back on the track. Oh, a beautiful hit to the outside. That puts Graves down. In the meantime, Chachi has come out of our penalty box, and I believe that was completing, oh, that was a scoring pass there, so 4 points on the board for drive-by.
So drive-by looking to close that point differential up, doing a great job at that, and it looks like we have Graves headed to the penalty box. So once again, drive-by City having a chance on the power jam to try and pick up those extra points, and they've proven in the past that they are able to utilize that power jam really, really well. So we're going to see how they do. Deep Valley doing their best to try and close it up.
Oh, Chachi really pushing in the back of this pack here to try and get those points. He does take a big point from Disastrix and gets to the end of that jam, but that was nice work. Both points on both sides.
Disastrix laying a huge hit on Drive-By City's jammer there right at the end and breaking off the end of that jam. So Drive-By not quite able to utilize that power jam to the best of their ability. They do have another couple of seconds here. Looks like we have 1776 Thomas Refferson up to the line to try and see if he can get that taken care of in the next couple of seconds before this power jam ends. And it looks like we do have a timeout.
I like the little hop there that Raven Buster did back to his bench. It's a nice little pogo. I think we are just in an official timeout right at the moment. A big thank you, of course, to all of our referees and our NSOs for coming out and working their butts off today. Oh, we've got a timeout.
Looks like we have another timeout. We should talk about some of our sponsors here while we are doing this.
Great idea, Julia Childless. We have some more great vendors over there. We've got Left Turn Clothing. I know Pivot Star is going to be here a little later today. I see their table wasn't quite set up yet, but I'm going to give a big push for Pivot Star because she's from my league, by Canadian.
They have such cute stuff, too.
Oh, she really does.
And don't forget to buy your raffle tickets.
Oh, yeah, totally buy a big old raffle ticket. Lots of goodies in there. There's going to be local goods, and there's going to be some RollerCon MVP tickets. You can also go visit Pretty Little Tragic. Rydell is here. Roller Doll, Skate Geek, Sweat Haug. Is that how you say it with the W? Haug.
Oh, Haug, yeah. I was
Sweat
going to
Haug.
say. I want to hear you say that again because it's so cute when you say it.
Sweat Haug.
Looks like we are having quite the discussion out there. For all your Derby news coverage via the media, check out Derby News Network. We are covering that via Facebook all weekend. Also, if you're looking for more roller derby, the Beach Brawl is happening down in Florida. A little bit warmer, but...
What's her name? Who? The girl in gold shoes?
Not a clue.
Okay.
Who is she?
She's one of the coaches for...
I don't know.
For,
They are pretty miraculous gold shoes, are they not?
I'm going to talk about the gold shoes that are on the track here, too. Those shoes are making me some jealous, let me tell you. I don't know if you guys can see it. She's standing out here in the back, but whoo-wee.
Yeah, those are pretty miraculous. I don't know if anybody on the other side of the track can see them, but they are very shiny.
That's pretty much all I'm going to see now. I'm just going to be so distracted by them and be like,
Forget the roller derby that's
I know,
happening.
if someone
There's
wants
gold
to take
shoes.
her out and give me her shoes, I'll take them.
I feel like if you were to have skates that color, it would be very distracting as well. Oh, you just got very excited there when I said that.
The gleam in my eye. I'm like, I do want shiny gold skates and the shiny gold helmets. Again, we are now into an official timeout. Oh, no, are we still in team timeout time?
Official timeout to team timeout to official timeout. We should talk about some scores on the other tracks. Humboldt is ahead 157-33 over Kokeshi. Emerald City is ahead of Pikes Peak at 113-56 at the half on both of those.
Nice. I like how you have the update from the track, from all the tracks.
I am getting updates from all the tracks. It's very exciting. If you would like updates, once again, check out Derby News Network. They are updating all day. Tucson over Silicon Valley, 187 to 113. Wheels of Justice over Kansas City earlier by about 400. We have our head ref to talk about the penalty that just happened.
No? Not going to do it? I feel good. Thanks, Rock.
White wanted a review on it on the high block call on White 9-9.
So it looks like we had a challenge on the high block call called on Bay City. Looks like they did review that, and the call will stand. The high block stays, and he will take that penalty.
Nice push there by Thomas Jefferson. He was able to move those fast feet and come out as your lead jammer. Nice little spin around his blocker to miss that hit. That was a beautiful move. I've not seen that before. That was something else. Thomas Jefferson still trying to get up to the front of the pack. He calls it off just before Graves up to come to the back. So Thomas Jefferson able to put 4 more points on the board for drive-by. We're 64-58. 9 minutes left in our first period. Override and Downer on our line. Override in white, Downer in black.
Override having a tough time trying to come around the inside, but getting a big push out from Sloppy Joe and comes down. In the meantime, Downer jumping past drive-by in the front with no trouble and picking up lead jammer. Override hot on his tail. Number 6 from drive-by making a great run at defense, Coffin Nailer. And just like that, the jam is over.
Yeah, Override does a nice job again of speeding up to the back of the pack. Downer not able to get as many points as he probably wanted in there, as he called it off when he got hit to the inside from Override speeding up and catching up to the back. T's back up on the line. He's jamming against Culture Shock. Both these jammers have seen jam action quite a few times already in this game.
I don't even know how to do that.
Nice. Culture Shock with a really quick push to the front, and an outside move does then get taken down, but the other jam, that was, 24K up there fell down. Nugget fell down. He's able to go through.
Culture Shock continuing to skate.
I don't know if he noticed that he left the jammer helmet on the ground.
Culture Shock picking it back up on his way through. He can't accrue points without wearing it, right?
No, so he did get through that pass without any points. You must be wearing that helmet cover to get those points. T's now coming in, gets knocked to the inside.
So
looks like that jam had points, or that pass had points for everybody.
Drive-by getting kind of a lucky break there and catching those 5 points that Deep Valley missed by losing that helmet cover. So we are at 70-61 in favor of Deep Valley, but that is not a very large point spread for this point in the game.
And it does look like we are going to have a penalty, jammer penalty here for Deep Valley. So this is a power jam here for Avenger Holyfield, who's done really well in power jams so far this game. He's put up a whole bunch of points the last time he was in this situation.
Yeah, and he looks like he just kind of swam through the Deep Valley pack there. So Avenger Holyfield, not quite managing to keep the one skate in, so he is going to recycle to the back. He thought about it, though.
Deep Valley able to pull way, way back here. They got around our Drive-By City Rollers, didn't stop them from recycling.
Looks like he does get a little bit of help from his pack there. Number 612 from Drive-By gives him a little bit of a hand, and he's back around the outside. Boy band from Deep Valley headed to the penalty box, so Deep Valley also one short on their pack for the time being.
Culture Shock takes a huge hit out. He is going to get a penalty for that one, but that did stop Culture Shock from that pass. Again, Culture Shock not wearing the jammer helmet. I have to tell you, I'm not really sure what that strategy is for holding on to the helmet cover like that. Avenger Holyfield calling off the jam. If somebody wants to tell me why he keeps taking off his helmet cover, I would appreciate that.
How many points did he get on that jam?
Oh, I didn't count.
Was it 5?
We do have, again, a 1-point game going on. Deep Valley 70, drive-by 71. 5 minutes left on our clock. Sorry, I missed that.
It's okay, it was 9. I should try doing math on occasion. That would be pretty cool.
Thomas Jefferson jamming for drive-by.
Drive-by doing a great job of getting Graves pushed out, and so holding back Deep Valley on their lead. Once again, drive-by doing great defense there, managing to push their jammer through. Number 1776, Thomas Jefferson, looking for some extra points here at the end of this half. Jefferson, grand slam for drive-by. I believe that is going to push them into the lead coming into the second half, their first time in the lead today.
Thomas Jefferson up at the front of the pack, calling it off. I think he was probably able to get all 4 points. Yes, he was. So that was another 4 points on the board for Thomas Jefferson, 0 on the board for Graves in that jam. Drive-by doing an amazing job with their blocking in that last jam, holding Graves for such a long time.
So drive-by taking the first lead of this game so far. Downer and Override on the line with just less than 4 minutes remaining in this half.
We've got one drive-by blocker in our packs. That was one less person for Downer to get by as he came out for your lead jammer. Override able to get through the front of the pack there. Not your lead jammer, of course. Downer in the back of the pack, scoring up some points. Some nice work holding that inside line open there.
So Downer very quickly picking up those 4 points and calling off that jam, not wanting to risk drive-by picking up any more points. Drive-by currently still in the lead at 74-80.
Tease and Culture Shock on our line again.
And I really enjoy this matchup, Tease and Culture Shock, because Tease is such a tall guy. And he's actually really fast for somebody that tall. And Culture Shock is just a tiny little dude, but he is just quick.
Yeah, Culture Shock just burst his way through that pack. He was just doing his own blocking up in there, shoving everybody out of his way.
Yeah, and if you could hold him, it'd be great. But the second you can't hold him, he's just bolted out, and you can't catch him after that.
Had some crazy blocking going on there as our drive-by blockers were basically tumbling out of the pack, and that did allow Culture Shock score some points and call off the jam.
So Culture Shock, 4 more points there. Deep Valley quickly catching up with drive-by's brief lead here in the first half. Avenger Holyfield doing a little bit of dancing on the line. Graves picked his spot and held it.
We've got ourselves a clear penalty box, so all of our players on the track doing a slow scrum start here as they're really just now getting past that pivot line up in the front. Really nice work again on the outside by Defensive Destroyer. That pulled Graves way back. We still have up at the front Avenger Holyfield trying to get out of that blocking. Wow, this is great blocking by both of our teams. Such a slow moving pack as it's just so tightly blocked in there. Both of our jammers out just about at the same time, but that is Avenger Holyfield who does have the advantage.
Well, you know, and that drive-by line, Defensive Destroyer and Coffin Nailer is just vicious. Just really hard to get past.
So 0 points on the board for both teams in that jam. We are going to line up and do it again. We're going to try Thomas Jefferson jamming up against Downer. Oh, and an opportunity to say the pivot line as all of our skaters up at the, oh, moving back.
Downer doing a lot of duty here for Deep Valley today. Not looking like he's slowing down at all. Thomas Refferson with a little apex jump there, picks up lead jammer for drive-by City. Downer picks up another jammer penalty, and he is headed to the box. Drive-by with another power jam.
Wow. Yeah, super opportunity here for Thomas Refferson as they only have 3 blockers on the track as well, too. So that was a big grand slam on the board here for drive-by. Thomas Refferson lining up to do it again. Nice has just blockers coming in to try and clear his path. Does look like Deep Valley was ready for that, though, and setting themselves up for some hits.
Yeah, Refferson not letting them get the better of him, though. He pushes past Dr. Rotten despite a very large hit. Picks up 5 more points.
All of our Deep Valley blockers back onto the track now. That does mean Refferson's going to have a little bit more work to do. Does get pushed down to the inside of the track, and that's going to be a penalty there for Dr. Rotten.
Looks like, yeah, I was going to say, that looks like a high block penalty for Dr. Rotten, so he is headed to the penalty box.
So I think that's chemtrail.
Drive-by picking up 5 more points. Refferson. So that is a 15-point jam for Thomas Refferson of the Drive-by City Rollers. Once again, pushing drive-by into the lead at 95-78 as we go into the half.
Nice drive-by, doing such a good job of taking advantage of those penalties that they were given. Venture Holyfield really putting up a lot of points in that first half. Nice work. Well, we are going to take a 10-minute halftime here. I like that we get to watch the next teams warm up as we do halftime as well, too. Okay, it looks like we are getting ready to play our second period here. Drive-by City Rollers from Los Angeles taking on the Deep Valley Belligerents from Ukiah. I think that's how you say that. I could be totally wrong. With a nice push at the end of our first period. Drive-by City Rollers up at 95 points. Deep Valley Belligerents in at 78 points. Again, we have seen this game go back and forth in the first period. I think that is definitely what we're going to see again here in our second period. This is our first MRDA game of the day, so you know both these teams want to come out as the winner. Of course, they always kind of want to come out as the winner. That kind of is the point. Just before we start, I want to give a thank you to one of our sponsors, Recyco. Thanks largely to Recyco, aka Carolyn Stein. The Big O is a certified environmentally and socially responsible event. Thank you so much, Recyco. Both of our teams getting lined up here. Looks like that is going to be Downer on the line here for Deep Valley. Override wearing the star for drive-by. Okay, Miss Trial saying we are ready to go here for this second 30 minutes. We are starting this jam with 2 Deep Valley belligerents in the box, so that is a bit of an opportunity for Override. He's only got two blockers to get past, but it is Downer who is our lead jammer.
Downer not looking like he's stopping at all, despite him being on the jam line for most of this bout. But he is going to run up against the back of a very large Drive-By City Rollers team, and all the Drive-By City Rollers looking for the no point on that one, and they did get it.
Yeah, Downer calling it off before any points are put on the board, as again, Override catching up to the back of the pack. We're going to have Tease jamming up next against Culture Shock. Still have two of our Deep Valley blockers in the penalty box. And we're going into an official timeout.
So I did check out the penalty board at the end of the first half, and it does not look like we have anybody in any kind of serious penalty trouble. And it did look, Drive-By was utilizing those power plays really well in that last half as the Deep Valley jammer penalties were happening. And I don't know if anybody would be surprised to know, but they got nearly the exact same number of penalties in the first half, both teams.
Really?
So we had Deep Valley with 14 and Drive-By with 13. And that just kind of surprised me because Deep Valley was doing such an incredible job at that power jam that they were picking up. I mean, we had two huge power jams that were both 9 points.
Yeah. So. Ooh, to the outside like a knife cuts. Culture Shock cuts through that pack.
As he does that, we have both of the Deep Valley players released from the penalty box, so they are back at full strength.
Culture Shock to the inside, able to stay on the track there from a huge hit going on by Nugget.
The other thing I'm noticing in this bout is that we have a lot of very short jams. They're a very hit it and quit it attitude. We're going to get the points, we're going to get off the track, we're going to reset, put another jammer and try it again.
Yeah, when you're so close in the points, you really don't want to take any chances there. Just take your points and hopefully you're able to keep that momentum going. It was just a couple points each time.
Right, and especially if all the jammers get a chance to sit for a jam and rest, you can cycle people in a lot quicker.
Speaking of jammers, we've got Graves and Avenger Holyfield. Avenger Holyfield getting pulled way, way back here by Graves, actually. That got Holyfield blocked up again. Graves one more time to the back of our pack. Both jammers still fighting their way out. Oh, on the inside line, Avenger Holyfield gets a penalty for a multiplayer block, it looks like. Is that multiplayer block? So that holding. That did put out Graves as our lead jam.
So Deep Valley on a power jam here, looking for a chance to even up that score once again, and he's just going to be very patient and keep pushing till he gets there and picks up 5 big points.
Some nice blocking going on up here by our white team. A little bit of a sandwich there, but it is Graves who stays on his feet.
JB the Rockstar breaking up that Bay City pack.
Yep. Coffin Nailer and Windbreaker doing some more blocking up here at the front of the pack.
Looks like we do have a back block call on number 6 from Drive-By. That is going to be Coffin Nailer, and he is going to have to loop the track in order to take that penalty. So it won't start now until the next jam starts.
Graves calling off that jam there, so that did, oh, look at that. It puts us into a tie game one more time. Deep Valley able to catch up to that lead that Drive-By had on the board going into the halftime, and we have another tie game. It's like the third time that the game has been tied up.
Is it Graves?
Downer and Thomas Refferson on our line. Thomas Refferson with a big push through the middle. Not quite able to come through as your lead jammer. I think that is Downer. Some nice jammer on jammer action going on here. Thomas Refferson just pounding into Downer, forcing Downer to call off the jam. No points either side.
So Downer wasting a little bit of clock time there, trying to run it down before he calls off that jam.
Culture Shock and Override going to be our next two jammers up on the line. We do have one drive-by in the box, 4 on 3. Oh, nice little jammer on jammer action here as Override trying to push Culture Shock to the outside, but really just pushed him around the outside line and got him through the pack.
Boy, Culture Shock just not looking like he's going to give up at all. He just keeps pushing through. Looks like he gets recycled to the back of the pack by Defensive Destroyer and has to come back around. Oh, no.
That is
Track
a cutting.
cut.
Yeah, cutting penalty there for Culture Shock. So Override now into Power Jam. We still are sitting in at a tie game, so I think those 5 points are going to put Drive-By back into the lead.
Looks like JB the Rockstar picking up that penalty as he is blocking Override for the Power Jam, and so Override let go, and he will pick up the 5 points and 5 more.
Another nice pass for Override, setting up to do that one more time. Some nice help in the pack there by Nick Fury trying to clear it out for Override. Our Deep Valley Belligerents able to stand up again. Do a little slowdown there, but Override is able to come through with another 5 big points.
So right now we're looking at a 15-point Power Jam for Override. Deep Valley trying not to let it happen again. We have Drive-By trying hard to make him a hole. So there's a lot of, oh, beautiful job by Override.
Oh.
Doesn't quite make it around the inside, but found a beautiful hole left for him by his pack. And they're going to cycle him all the way to the back as they empty out their penalty box and Deep Valley regains their pack.
And we just had
Override
a star
looking
pass.
for the star pass, handing it off to Defensive Destroyer.
Defensive Destroyer now your jammer for Drive-By City Rollers. With the end of that jam, Drive-By City taking the lead one more time, 110-99.
That was awesome.
This game is awesome.
I have to say that's my favorite play in the entire game so far. I'm going to make a reference to another team. It's sort of like when Wrecking Bill jams on St. Louis. If you put Wrecking Bill doesn't jam, but it very much reminded me of that.
I think is this an official review? I think we've got an official review being called here by Deep Valley. Deep Valley calling in an official review on that last jam. Going to thank another couple of our vendors then. Team USA is here. Again, Team USA going to be playing that special game at the end of the tournament on Sunday against our tournament MVPs, which I think is going to be quite amazing. Thrive is another one of our vendors, and so is Zemo Rocks. I also want to thank one of my favorite venues here in Eugene, the Cowfish Dance Club and Lounge, 62 West Broadway, with great cocktails and daily drink specials. And I don't know why I enjoy saying cowfish so much, but Cowfish. It looks like a couple of our teams heading back to the skater area, so I think one of our games is over there.
Second for her to explain, but Black was challenged with a 5-point pass after the star pass. The points were actually earned before the star pass happened by the previous jammer.
Okay.
And 5 was awarded once the new jammer exited.
Okay.
So did
Perfect.
the new jammer get 5 more points?
Points stand. They were just earned by the previous jammer.
Gotcha. Okay, so it looks like there was a challenge to the star pass, the 5 points. It looked like it was picked up by the second jammer by Defensive Destroyer. It looks like the points were not awarded to Defensive Destroyer. Those were 5 points earned previous to the star pass, and so those are legally passed points. That sounded correct from what he said,
That
right?
was right.
Okay. So all points stand, and Drive-By remains in the lead at 112 to 199.
Some nice work at the front of the pack again by Nugget, trying to slow down Graves. Was some nice blocking, although Graves did come out as your lead jammer here. Deep Valley Belligerents, lead jammer. Our jammer is out. That's tease for Drive-By. Graves calls off that jam. I think there was 1 point on the board there, so that does bring Deep Valley up to 100. Drive-By sitting in at 112. That's 12 points difference. That's math.
That's better math than I do, that's for sure.
Well, you know, that was easy math, but that was still math. Avenger Holyfield back up on the line for our Drive-By. He's going to want... He's done really well with points in this game. We're going to see what he's going to be able to do with this jam. Downer is your jammer for the Deep Valley, who's going to want to get back his lead. Nice push to the front of the pack there, and that is Avenger Holyfield as your lead jammer. Downer still in the back of the pack by the big tumble going on in there. Lots of players down. That did keep Downer on the ground as Avenger Holyfield came into the pack. Downer now out of the pack. Avenger Holyfield, I think he's getting in elbows. That is elbows for Avenger Holyfield. So here is Deep Valley Belligerents in a power jam. Our Drive-By rollers losing some players to penalties there. Nice little like squish through the pack. Downer gets 4 points. 3 blockers left on the track here for Drive-By as Downer is coming in to try and pick up those points, put the Deep Valley back into the lead. Defensive Destroyer, our last line of defense. Nice work, really slowed down. Was only able to do 1 pass there before Avenger Holyfield was able to come out of the penalty box.
Wow, nice job there by Avenger Holyfield, taking that hit but stepping right over the apex to pick up those 5 more points as he comes out of the penalty box.
All of our Deep Valley Belligerents players move up to the front of the pack to try and not become any points. There's lots of action going on in here. Downer through the pack. Avenger Holyfield up at the front.
Boy Band takes a huge hit from Drive-By as he tries to recycle to the back of the pack, and he is not able to recycle Drive-By's jammer to the back because of that.
And around the outside goes Downer with 5 points. Nice. Avenger Holyfield tries to do a little blocking onto Downer there to slow him down into the pack as there was just a few seconds left in that jam. Holy action. 126. The points keep piling up. 119. Deep Valley back into the lead. This is a very exciting first game here of our MRDA players for the Big O. I think everyone's going to be pretty happy with this one. Thomas Refferson and Graves are your 2 jammers. Thomas Refferson up at the front of the pack. Graves gets recycled back by those strong Drive-By blockers. And in the end, it is going to be Thomas Refferson as your lead jammer. Graves just coming out of the pack now with a bit of a hard fight there from Nugget. I heard a bunch of whistles at the end while we were calling it off, so I think there is going to be a few penalties going on here. I'm not. Oh, it looks like that is a Deep Valley jammer penalty.
You can tell in the second half that both these teams have ramped up the action quite a bit. There's a lot more defensive work going on, a lot quicker action. People are being slightly less calculated, but a little bit more aggressive in how they're handling these plays.
With a quick switch there, it looks like Drive-By is going to play Thomas Refferson for this jam.
Refferson, of course, with that huge power jam earlier in the game. So a good choice for this power jam here. He seems to be the man to put on the power jams. And, of course, he takes a big hit from number 3 from Deep Valley.
Defensive Destroyer doing some nice work in that last pass, coming in and busting up the pack. Some more help here. Deep Valley was kind of ready for that one, though.
And Deep Valley has emptied their penalty box, so they are back at full strength as well. And as I say that, of course, Culture Shock headed to the penalty box, so they are short a man.
Thomas Jefferson calling it off at the front of the pack as Graves was just coming up to the back. A 1-point game once again. This has definitely been a hard-fought battle. Again, these two teams did play each other not too long ago, with Deep Valley coming out with the win on that one just a month ago, actually. And Downer and Tees are going to play our next jam. But Plenty Official giving us an NSO gun show up at the front there. Nice guns too, baby. Nice to see you too. I haven't got to say hi yet.
She's kitty. Love it. She's so cute. Is this a timeout? Could we have, sorry, things to read with the things? I have too much going on.
Yeah, I can read some things. Another couple of sponsors to say thank you. Of course, Ninkasi Brewery, the official beer of the Emerald City Roller Girls, who I gotta say are pretty lucky if that is their official beer, because that is delicious beer. I enjoyed many a beer last year, and I'm probably gonna enjoy many Ninkasi this year. Again, Downer and Tees waiting on the line to start up this game again. We do have 133 on the board now for Drive-By. Deep Valley in at 127. We're going to see some pretty intense 17 minutes of roller derby here. Drive-By and Tees coming out as your lead jammer. We still have Downer in our pack. No, Downer on his way. That was a back blocking, and Downer on his way to the penalty box. And Tees already in a scoring pass, although he did get recycled from a hit to the outside. Nice work. Get some help in there from his friends. Tees able to come out with a big 5 points. All of our Deep Valley blockers on the track again. Tees is fighting his way through that by himself. Some nice blocking going on in the front here. That's Culture Shock, I believe, that's given the what for to Tees, but Tees is able to come out of the penalty, come out of that pack with 5 points just as Downer enters the track. Big pile up in the back of our pack puts Downer down. Tees in the back here trying to fight his way through those blockers. Deep Valley really do not want to let him go. Downer did get out of the pack, and that did force Tees to call it off, so there was no points on the board there for Deep Valley. Drive-By increasing their lead now, 143-127. We still have 15 minutes left in this second period. I think, Julie Childless, we are going to see some intense derby for the next 15 minutes.
Well, I definitely think the Drive-By is gunning for this win after their last couple meetups with Deep Valley. So everybody is hitting, like I said, a little bit harder and a little bit faster. Chachi, not a lot of time up on the line. Dr. Rotten, I think this is his first time. So everybody putting in a little bit of fresh blood here to see how this works. Dr. Rotten coming around the inside, picking up lead jammer status with no trouble at all. But Chachi hot on his tail as they come around. Drive-By actually stopping the pack.
Whoa!
Oh! Completely failed apex jump by Chachi there.
That was so pretty, though. That looked real nice. And Chachi to the back of the pack. Dr. Rotten calls off that jam. From one doctor to another, though. It was nice to see Dr. Rotten jamming up there. Dr. Jenny Fever approves. It's a doctor club.
It's a doctor thing?
Yep. We drive fancy cars. We've got Graves back up on our line. He's going to be jamming up against Thomas Refferson. Deep Valley 131, drive-by 148. We do have one drive-by in the box, but that did not stop Thomas Refferson. He comes out as your lead jammer. Graves still up at the front of the pack. They do have to let him go. Thomas Refferson gets hit down to the inside. He is going to try and get those couple of points there. And he's able to get 4 points, and he calls off the jam. Nice jam again by drive-by, increasing their lead, 152-131. 21 points. We've got players in the box for both teams, 2 in the box there for Deep Valley, 1 for drive-by. Not a lot of blockers hanging out on our track right now.
So it's sort of interesting. We have players up on the quote-unquote pivot line that does actually still exist. Drive-by City having no trouble picking up lead jammer around the outside.
Avenger Holyfield is your lead jammer, but our jammer is also out for Deep Valley and putting on the Jets. Avenger Holyfield comes to the inside. I think he's going to be able to do it cleanly. Oh, no, 1 point on the board there, Deep Valley. These jams are coming fast and furious here as we've got Tees on the line going up one more time against Downer.
And we still have nearly an entire quarter to go in this bout. We are not just barely halfway finished with this half, 156-133 in favor of the drive-by City Rollers.
Downer trying to push his way through the inside line. Not just, oh, nice spin move there as he is just able to get out of the pack.
Boy, beautiful move there by Downer as he comes around, and Deep Valley taking a tumble and not quite able to regain their footing.
Deep Valley was suffering from a lack of players there for a few seconds. We did have 2 more blockers just enter the track, though, coming to try and help out Downer, but Tees was able to get through that last pass pretty easily. That is 4 more points on the board for Deep Valley, so they are chipping away at that drive-by City Rollers lead. Again, there's only 12 minutes left in this game, and it has gone back and forth. This has been quite the exciting game. I've seen a few of them today, but this one, I think it's the one. Is that Dr. Rotten? Dr. Rotten back up on the track. Again, this is his second appearance on the jam line in this. He did not jam at all in our first period. Thomas Refferson, your jammer in white. Dr. Rotten up at the front. He is your lead jammer. He did get recycled back just a little bit, which pulled some time back. Thomas Refferson also out of the pack. Both these jammers racing around to that pack. Oh, looks like Dr. Rotten gets himself a cutting penalty. He is on the way to the box. Thomas Refferson on a power jam.
Drive-by City getting a great break right here as Dr. Rotten was unsure of whether he had that penalty or not, and so they got a couple extra seconds there. Thomas Refferson taking a little hop over, and it looks like he is also headed to the penalty box for a track cut call, and so Dr. Rotten back out of the penalty box, picking up the power jam for Deep Valley.
He takes the long way around to come up to the back of the pack. Drive-by set up waiting for him. Oh, some nice blocking going on here by drive-by. They are serious in their blocking at the back of this pack.
Thomas Refferson now released from the penalty box and taking on Deep Valley's pack at the very front. Deep Valley trying to waterfall recycle him, and it is not quite working. He's just going to push to the front and break free.
It's almost like a conga line of players that we had going on there. It was so stretched out for a few moments. It was almost like a straight line. Big hit to the outside for Thomas Refferson as he gets recycled way back by Deep Valley.
Dr. Rotten getting pushed around quite a bit at the front of the pack. And it looks like we have what was an attempted star pass there at the very end. He handed it off to Graves, but the jam was called off before they had a chance to complete that.
So Drive By picking up that lead. They're in at 171 on the board now. Deep Valley in at 139. We've got 9.5 minutes left in this first MRDA game of the Big O. I just got to say, I am so happy to be here at the Big O. I've been waiting, pretty much since it ended last year to come back here. Emerald City does I just want to say a huge thanks to Emerald City. They do such a good job of putting this on and taking such good care of all of the players and the officials and the guests, and it's just fantastic. It's my favorite.
I really enjoy the variety I'm seeing in this tournament. We have, Scotland is here and Japan is here, and we have men's derby this year and juniors derby, and it's just
big shout out to Canada as well too. Sorry,
well, both of us being Canadians here on the mic today.
That is true. You do have some Canadians rocking the mics. Okay, 9 minutes, 18 seconds. That is Avenger Holyfield on the line for Drive By. Going to try and keep that lead going, but really with a strong push up to the front, bursts out of the pack.
Jonas Downer. Looks like not going to pick up that lead jammer, so he is going to wait. Looks like we have a penalty called on Deep Valley, so Chemtrail headed to the penalty box. And it looks like we are trying to regain some pack over here in the corner.
Ooh.
And now we have Drive By headed to the penalty box. Avenger Holyfield to the penalty box for Drive By as Jonas Downer tries to pick up some extra points and put Deep Valley back on the map here in this bout. 5 points for Jonas Downer.
This could be huge for Deep Valley. That's already 5 more points on the board, cutting down to that lead. Again, with those 30-second penalties, it doesn't really give you such an opportunity to lay on the points. Nugget doing some amazing job blocking up here at the front of the pack, joined in by...
Looks like Drive By picking up a penalty during that kerfuffle with Downer, and Downer picking up 5 more points here in his power jam.
So Downer completes the power jam with another 5 points. Looks like Avenger Holyfield is out of the penalty box, though he is into the pack. Some intense blocking going on in this back corner here by Deep Valley.
Downer coming around the outside with 5 more big points.
Downer with another amazing pass. They are getting so close to that tie game one more time. 161-71.
Finally, the end of that jam comes. Jonas Downer with 25 points, a 25-point power jam for Jonas Downer of the Deep Valley Belligerents.
Yeah, I'm going to say Downer is the hero of the Deep Valley Belligerents right now, as that was getting them closer to that lead. 164-171. I think we are going into a timeout for Drive By here. Holy moly. This is pretty good.
Wow. Wow. That's all I had to say to that comment.
I'm going to give a thanks to LTD. Thanks to LTD for supporting the Big O. Check out the One Pass. For only $50, your kids get access to Wilma Lane facilities and unlimited LTD rides all summer.
This is some roller derby. This is right here. Yeah.
So everybody mark your calendar, because the Big O is going to be May 1st to 3rd, 2015.
Your current score 164-171 in favor of the Drive By City Rollers. Drive By looking for a win here over Deep Valley to balance out the last couple of times they've played. So Deep Valley wasting no time. However, drive-by is ahead of them by just a little bit, but Culture Shock pushing as well. Oh, beautiful job there on the inside. Drive-by City Rollers, number 114.
Yeah, T's able to come through as your lead jammer. Culture Shock also out of the pack. Deep Valley's putting in some speed to the front of this pack. You're going to try and force T's to call it off. Looks like that was 2 more points on the board for drive-by. Again, with another couple of fast jams going on. Thomas Refferson going to be in the next jam. He's jamming up against Downer.
Boy, Thomas Refferson really showing us what he's made of in this bout, too. He's picked up so many of those big power jams that have happened.
Yeah, he's had a really great game. Both of our jammers off the line. Downer up at the front of the pack, trying to get past that white team. Thomas Refferson takes a hit into the pack, into the center there by Billy Motion.
Jonas Downer picking up lead jammer for Deep Valley, so he is going to try and put some extra points on the board in this last 5 minutes. Unfortunately, Thomas Refferson very close behind him, and so Jonas Downer calling off that jam, picking up 4 points as he does, or excuse me, 1 point. Thomas Refferson miraculously picking up 4.
Okay, we're going to go into a timeout here. Timeout black. Timeout. We have some fun stats here, actually, for the Big O. There are 36 teams here. We have 17 WFTDA teams, 4 B teams, 7 MRDA teams, 7 juniors teams, and Team USA. 24 announcers, 112 officials on skates and off, and 49 awesome games of roller derby.
That's lots of roller derby. Hey, you can buy a shout out. This is pretty cool. I'm gonna steal this from you. You can buy, if you want to hear us announce your name, how exciting would that be? You can go buy one. Go to track 1, go to the Thrive vendor booth, and tell them you want to give them $1, and over the loudspeaker, somebody will say whatever it is that you want. Keep it clean. Keep it clean, folks. Family event.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
I have said some pretty awful things on the microphone, but I will keep it clean. This is a major tournament, so nothing foul. But hey, give them $1, and we'll say something really cool on the mic. You can tell someone you like them, or give a good luck to a team.
Oh, I really want someone to announce crushes.
Tell them how much
derby
you love the
crushes.
announcing.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Okay, so that is Chachi back up on the line here for a drive-by.
Sloppy Joe getting pushed way back by drive-by there. Not able to break free of the pack quite yet, and so he just keeps getting pushed around. Sloppy Joe, not a normal jammer for Deep Valley, a stellar blocker, but not often on the jam line, and so Chachi not quite able to make it all the way through. Deep Valley recycling him about halfway around the track. And finally, Sloppy Joe breaking free, but Chachi calling off that jam. Looks like we have a couple penalties called right at the end there. Deep Valley picking up a point, or excuse me, drive-by picking up a point. Deep Valley not able to score. Jeebus Christ, a lot of stuff happened right there.
Holy cow, drive-by City Rollers. They have 180. Deep Valley Belligerents, 165. There is 4:38 left on the track. Both times that these two teams have come together before, Deep Valley has come away as the winners. So drive-by is able to keep that lead on the board. This is going to be their first win.
Jonas Downer picking up the jammer for Deep Valley.
Downer, the only jammer we have on the track right now.
Jam happening?
Yep.
Ah.
Deep Valley in the penalty box. I didn't see what Chachi's penalty was at the end there, but he did get a penalty right at the end of that last period. So that puts Downer in with 5 points.
So
10 points separating these two teams right now.
Downer able to pick up a couple of points before Chachi regains the pack, and it looks like he is sent right back to the penalty box with a back block call. Jonas Downer with 5 more power jam points.
Okay, Deep Valley Belligerent fans, cheer on Downer now as he is on another power jam. Gets knocked down.
Downer takes a big tumble, and he is going to take off.
Some blocking going on here. It looks like that was a star pass then, as 707 JB the Rockstar is now your jammer for Deep Valley.
Looks like he will pick up the 5 points after he picked up that panty, and so the star pass happens.
Chachi back on the track now, definitely going to try and hope to stay on the track as he is fighting his way up to the front. Drive-by City Rollers fighting for that lead. Oh, no.
Deep Valley Belligerents, JB the Rockstar picks up a penalty after he receives the star, and so he will sit in the penalty box. Drive-by City Rollers on a power jam situation. Chachi out of the box and looking for some extra points, but they are going to have to wait till that next jam.
This could be a record-breaking game for these two teams. That's why you see so much effort going on to the track. It is, Deep Valley just got their lead back. They are 182, drive-by 180. We've got 2 minutes left on this clock, and I think we have a review or timeout. I think we're just in a timeout.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout there.
I'm going to say, holy camole, this is intense.
Well, and with 2 minutes remaining, it's anybody's game. That's a pretty standard thing to say in bouts, but it really is anyone's game at this point.
Yeah, again, according to these two teams' histories, this is the closest that drive-by has ever gotten to the Deep Valley scores. So this is definitely already a win for drive-by, but they do want to see that actual W in the board. Deep Valley wants to keep it on their side.
Looks like we did have a couple of timeouts there. Teams were talking about a few things.
I never have any idea what they're yelling.
No, I know. I never did. I think they're saying right now DVP. Deep Valley Belligerent. Okay, again, so we did have a penalty situation happening for Deep Valley. So that is Thomas Refferson on the line. Bunch of players hanging out. It's been able to say the pivot line a few times this game. That's been fun.
Well, and obviously we know how dangerous this is. Thomas Refferson picking up so many points on the power jams, and he is going to stretch it out. Sloppy Joe trying to stop him, but not able to. Lead jammer Thomas Refferson with less than 2 minutes to go here in this bout, and he is going to try and put drive-by back on the map. He manages to sneak past Sloppy Joe. Once again, 5 points for Thomas Refferson.
Thomas Refferson putting on the points, but our Deep Valley Belligerents jammer back onto the track one more time. Looks like Thomas Refferson's going to try and come in and get some points and call off the jam. That is 4 more points for drive-by 189, drive-by 182, Deep Valley 124. I'm going to say we're definitely going to be able to get another couple of jams into this one. We're going into another timeout here. We've got a timeout black.
Well, I have to say this is a hell of a way to start out the MRDA bouting here at the Big O.
Nice. So I'm just so excited. I'm like, okay, I just want to keep this playing going. We only have 1:16 left on the clock. Drive-by up 189, 182. I think you're going to see probably some of the most intense roller derby in the next 2 minutes.
I agree completely, and you know, it has to be good. I have to have a little personal shout out to Raven Buster sitting on the line there. Raven, of course, played at the very recent Men's World Cup in Birmingham and did break his leg during that tournament at the very first day. It was so horrible to watch, I have to admit, but it must be great to see his team doing so well at this point in the juncture as he is still working hard on his physical therapy to be able to join them.
Okay, as we go into our last 1:16 of this game, we've got Tease up on the line. He's jamming up against Downer. both of these guys put a lot of points on the board. Downer's making a big push to the front of the pack where those drive-by blockers are. Tease is stuck in the back of the pack. Downer takes a hit down. Tease still in the back of the pack. I wonder if either of these jammers are going to be able to get out in time to score any more points. We have some intense blocking going on. Drive-by keeps losing their blockers.
Defensive Destroyer and Nugget from Drive-by both headed to the penalty box. Tease picking up lead jammer for the Drive-by City Rollers despite his short pack. Great job there. So Tease looking to pick up those extra points. Downer now released from the pack. Tease taking on the pack by himself and calling off that jam. And it looks like Deep Valley is calling for a timeout.
Holy man.
Ah, damn.
Okay, I'm going to turn around and look at the score. Drive-by 189.90. Deep Valley in at 182. We've only got 30 seconds left on our clock. Again, both of these teams obviously capable of doing any sort of play to get these points back on the board, but this is fantastic.
Oh, that must be...
I hope everybody has been enjoying this game. This has been one amazing game of roller derby. I am so happy that I got to be here to see this one.
I would like to thank you for being on the mic with me today.
Oh, thanks very much.
Absolutely amazing bout to call.
I have been
we'll
very
have to
happy.
do this again sometime.
I agree. This is good.
Yeah.
Come to Canada. Watch some of our men play up there.
Yeah. Well, that does sound good. I hear you have butter tarts up there, so.
We do have a lot of butter tarts. In fact, I make an amazing butter tart.
Oh,
I'll mail you some. Give me your address.
I'm going to have to take you up on that. I really am.
Yeah, I'll mail you some tarts. Okay, Thomas Jefferson on the line. Culture Shock on the line. 30 seconds on this clock. Again, drive-by, this could be a historic win for them if they are able to keep it up.
And for this jam, the lead jam is so incredibly important. What you need in this jam is to get that lead jammer position. No question about it.
Yeah, Deep Valley is definitely going to be pushing for that. Culture Shock starting with an incredible stance here as we are getting ready to start. It's going to be an amazing end. Culture Shock pulls back, misses a hit from Thomas Jefferson. Does get a hit to the outside there.
Oh, beautiful job there by Drive-By, recycling Culture Shock all the way to the back. Meanwhile, Thomas Jefferson, oh my goodness, Deep Valley, Culture Shock picking up lead jammer. Thomas Jefferson still caught in the pack. Deep Valley looking to pick up those points, and
holy cow, Deep Valley fans going crazy.
5 points for Deep Valley.
Our jammer for Drive-By still trying to get out of the pack. That is another 5 points on the board here for Deep Valley. Watching the clock roll down. Culture Shock calls off the jam with a huge turnaround at the end of that game. We are going to wait for an official score of 192 for Deep Valley. That was an amazing end to a roller derby game. Oh, wait, we're going for an official review here. This might not be quite the end. We have an official review on the board. Official review, white. What happens with an official review at the very end of the game? Could they play more?
Yeah, they could play more.
Okay, well, this is kind of exciting.
Reset the clock to where the review started and do it again.
So we are in an official review here, so this game might not be over. Let's see what is going to happen.
We are going to keep you posted, but as it stands, our score is 192 to 190 in favor of the Deep Valley Belligerents. And we have people lined up on the track ready to do the high five, and we have a lot of chatting happening in between.
Yeah, no matter what happens, this was one fantastic game played by both of our teams. Deep Valley with that little push at the end there. Drive-By City Rollers kept putting a lead up onto the board. Deep Valley kept cutting back and getting the lead back to their side. So just 2 points sitting on the board right now. And it really is this official review going to tell us what's going to happen. saying it
What?
this way. I said this chant was "Who are we?" DVP. I'm like, oh, I got it.
DVB.
DVB.
Yeah.
See, I'm almost right.
Now I figured it out. Yeah, Portland's is Housetown, Bridgetown.
Oh, nice.
I think Puget's is teamwork.
Okay, so our referee's in talking about that official review. Wow, there's just so much tension here. Like, what's going to happen? Are we going to get to play another jam? Are we going to have that lead stand?
I'm really hoping somebody comes and tells us so we can tell the crowd what's happening. You know that if they overturn it and they do it again and then drive-by wins, there's going to be like chaos that happens. It's just going to be this like, what happened there?
I know, exactly. We almost won and we didn't.
It's not even like they almost won. They won and then they didn't.
Yeah.
Like that would be so sucky in a way.
Okay, our captain's getting called back into the center. Miss Child telling him what the call is.
Oh, no, they're not gonna.
Okay,
Final.
that is the end of this game then. What a fantastic game of roller derby, ladies and gentlemen. The Deep Valley Belligerents.
So your final score, Deep Valley 192, Drive-By City Rollers at 190. My name is Julia Childless, and
My name is Dr. Jenny Fever. Thanks so much for watching this fantastic game of roller derby with us. We'll see you later.
yeah, we are going to sign off. Please join us for the rest of this tournament. There's 2 more big days, and we will see you there.
Nice.
Beautiful job.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I have officially decided.
It's hard.